Hello, everybody. It's Coach Mike Gannon here with Pinnacle Action Coach doing our business owner interview series. And today I have a great guest, a business owner from Ohio, Cestiny. And she operates a small business, online business called By Cestiny. And I would like to introduce Cestiny today and do a business interview with her. Hi, Cestiny. How are you?
Hey, Mike, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Really what we're trying to do here is promote small business and remind everybody to support local businesses. And in this case, your business is an Ohio-based business. That's an online business. And so, we're interviewing business owners and allowing them to tell their story. So I'd really like you to tell your story. So please tell us about your business.
Well, it is an organic skincare business. I make deodorant, bath soaps, lip balm, things like that. I do customized labels. It's all organic, non-toxic, that kind of thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so you're mainly online. And tell me about who you're trying to reach and who you're trying to draw into your website.
Okay, so mainly people who love organic and understand, the importance of the non-toxic ingredients who are looking for that kind of product. But I also want people who understand, and are concerned with helping other people because that's a lot of why I do what I do. I just want to reach as many people. I want to be able to connect people through my platforms, and I just want to be able to support, humanity through the things that I'm doing. So anybody
Yeah,
like that?
no question. And today in this world that we live in, people really want to know what they're putting on their body or in their body. And it sounds like the things that you have and the products that you sell are very targeted and focused to those people that are concerned, right?
Yes, for
That's
sure.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
really awesome. So naturally, COVID has impacted all of our lives and all of our personal lives as well as our business lives. Tell me a
Mhm.
little bit about how COVID has impacted you and your business.
Um, Business wise, what had happened is that I had worked up to being able to get in a community center so people could come and do classes there. And that was abruptly halted, obviously. So I had to kind of rethink a couple things and started thinking more about what I could do online to reach people differently. And so I can kind of do some Zoom make and takes where people will purchase a kit and then they'll kind of get on a Zoom with me and do it like that. I'm branching out a little bit to learn a little bit more about coaching so that I can help other people get um, online businesses going because I've learned a lot through the process. And then, just in general, I do a lot of extra sanitation and all those things. I did it before, but I'm just a little bit more cautious now and more careful. With COVID, I just, with mailing things and going out and about, you just got to be more careful with everything.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about what a customer could expect. So I'm a customer of yours. I go to bycestiny.com, and that's bycestiny.com. And I go out there and I make a purchase. Walk me through the journey and what the customer can expect.
So on the front end, they're going to get something really fun when they first get there. There's a spin wheel, and every spin is a win. So no matter what, you're going to get something out of it, whether it's free shipping or 20% off or something like that. So every time you go to the website, you get that opportunity as a new user just once a day. And then when you go through the products, I have some older products that I've had for a while, and then some newer things that I keep adding. And then once you put your order in, if there's something personal that you'd like, certain scents or things like that, I will reach out to you as long as your contact information is valid. And I do the best I can to get everything out under 2 weeks. And that's because I make everything from scratch for each person. I try to keep that because I really want them to get the freshest product that they can in their hands.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's going to really set you aside or apart from others out there that might be competition for you. So what are a couple of different things that you've had to do? You've heard in the world called pivots. What are some pivots that you've had to do and you foresee you might have to do in the future given the current business environment?
I would say most likely I'm just going to have to keep working toward making everything online, just continually online. I had a lot of hope for the personalized make and takes where groups are getting together. And, that may be something that's possible in the future, but right now I have to completely pivot my mind away from that and understand that a lot of it is probably going to be online or, some type of virtual meeting or a very socially distanced situation, if we were meeting in person. So just mainly like just continuing on the path of, thinking online, um, make and takes is what I call them. But also I think I'm also going to continue to move toward the coaching aspect, helping others get to where if they have like a creative entrepreneurial spirit, and they want to do things online, they want to start a business, whatever it may be, crafting, whatever, I could at least get them started. I understand the dynamics behind that. And I know a lot of different people. I've met a ton of people through this, so I could always help and get them escalated to the next person who could help them, where I may fall off, like if that's not my niche or whatever. So
Sure,
yeah,
sure,
that's
sure.
pretty much
So
how I see it
I
going.
meant to ask you this earlier, but I wanted to ask you. So, can people expect to be able to pay via PayPal, and what all payment options do you
Oh,
have?
mhm.
And do you have loyalty programs? What are some of the things that people can expect?
Okay, so generally I have PayPal and then I have Stripe. So all credit
Okay.
cards are offered through Stripe. And then what I do is I just kind of put a personal touch to everybody and I send them out a thank you card, and each
Mm.
one has a personalized, a lot of times we'll have a personalized, it's like a discount code that I create just for them for being a loyal program. I don't have an actual system set up to
Mhm.
do it, but it's just something that I've been doing from the beginning. You know, if someone orders once or twice, they're usually getting that from me in the second order because I want to offer that, and it's kind of like an ongoing discount code that won't ever expire.
That's awesome. I bet your customers really appreciate that. I know if I got a handwritten note um, thanking me for my business, that goes a long way in making people stay loyal to you going forward. So I imagine that program works pretty well for you, and I'm sure that's going to help you going forward.
Yeah,
Um,
and I
go
just
ahead.
from friends and family, like the people that have ordered from me since 2016, I have a lot of repeat customers through friends and family. And at first I thought, oh, they're ordering from me when I first started. Oh, they're ordering from me because they're my friend and family. And now I realize like they're ordering because they really like the product
That's
and they
right.
really like what I'm doing and they want to continue to support me. But I've actually had a lot of branching from my friends and family being referring me to other people. So I think the product is definitely speaking for itself in that situation. And then obviously my little extra touches that I put to all this stuff.
No, that's awesome. And the best marketing sometimes is referrals. People who say, "Hey, if you haven't tried this, try it." That's awesome, and that's really one of the things we're hoping to get out of today. Is listen, if you haven't heard of bycestiny.com, please just take a look at it and see if there's something out there that's for you. There's something out there for everybody, male or female. And
Mhm.
more than anything, it's about small business because we've got to help each other. We've got to support small business during this time so that we can come out of this on the other side stronger and better than ever and ready for the future. I
Yeah.
heard Cestiny, I heard this, and you may you may know a little bit about it or not, but Amazon, I heard they're doing package counts that they expected to be doing 7 years from now, so in 2027. So I hope that passes itself along to other successful online businesses, business shops, or places like yourself,
Mhm.
because that would surely be awesome for you and your business. And I know
Definitely.
Amazon's the big animal out there, but there's a lot of other good options out there like yours. Um, so let's circle back a little bit. So you've been in business since 2016.
Yeah.
What's some of the biggest lessons or biggest learnings you've had that you'd like to pass along?
Really just giving yourself grace when things don't go the way you thought they would, especially for someone like me, like just pretty much doing it by myself and just starting from square one. And I don't mean completely alone, like no one gave me advice, but like the legwork. I've done the legwork, and I've gone back and forth and gotten advice from people, and I would say try not to reinvent any wheels where you don't have to. I know that's kind of like cliche, but it really does matter. And I utilize the free trials. I believe in just kind of testing things out a little bit here and there, just to kind of see what works. And if it doesn't work, just don't do it. If it's a waste of time, just don't do it. But don't be afraid to risk and see, and just put yourself out there a little bit just to see what happens, and watch it and test it. So I would say mainly just testing things out has been like a big learning thing for me. Just letting myself be flexible, trying different things, but staying true to what I started with. I'm making organic skincare. I have a lot of other things going on with this business that could really impact a lot of other people. But the organic skincare is where I started, and that's kind of where I come back to when I feel like I'm like, okay, too much going on. Let me go back to the to the basics here, and pretty much what I do.
Well, and you've mentioned something throughout that I think is so important, and that is don't be afraid to ask for help. There are people out there, there are great, life coaches, business coaches, whatever, coaches, online business startup coaches. There
Mhm.
are a lot of people and options and resources for help for small entrepreneurs. Yourself, you've mentioned that. Pinnacle Action Coach is an option too, but this isn't about that. I think the key is don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, from the very beginning, when I very first ever made a lip balm, I went to a friend and I said, look, I just started doing this. I'm going to have you try it. And I want your honest feedback, please. Okay. And then like, once I got it, cause it was in these little heart shaped, like, like compact things. And then
Hmm.
I got it to a point where I actually had it in a tube and I was giving it to people and they're like, so do you have a label? What's going on? And then a friend of mine was like, I really like this. I'm going to see if I can talk to my manager and get you some shelf space. And so that's what actually inspired me to make more products, because I needed about 8 products to be able to get shelf space. So then I was like, well, if I'm really doing this, I need an LLC. So then I went to the Small Business Development Center and figured out how to get an LLC and got some advice from them on how to do like, my markup values and all those little things, and trying to just like figure out what I was doing, basically making myself
Hmm.
a pro. And then I just started rolling with it. And, I was in probably 3 or 4 different stores at, little coffee shops and stuff set up at beauty salons. And, it kind of pulls in and out, of different places depending on where you're at. But I basically decided that I'd rather just be an online, you know,
Hmm.
right now, because it was just more easy for me to fulfill that obligation, you
Hmm.
know. Um,
Wow, you have a great story, and this is all about sharing your story and getting your story out there, and really increasing traffic. Because until people try your site to find the products they're looking for, they're not going to know about it. So, any special offers for anybody that might tune into this that you might be willing to put out there for folks?
yeah, I mean, I always have the spin wheel going. That's constant offer. Just so you know, there is a 75. If you order $75 this month, you get 20% off till the end of the month. And then I also have always free shipping on 35 and over. I would like to offer something special for this particular interview. So let's just say Action 2020 is going to get you $20 off.
Wow.
And we're going to say just $20 off your first purchase.
That's awesome. That's
Okay.
awesome, Cestiny.
So
That's a
Action
great offer.
2020.
Yeah, Action 2020. I
That's
like it.
impromptu.
I like it. Way to go. Way to be on the creative side of your brain, huh? Right. So
Yeah.
we all have an inspiration for why we started business, why we started our business. Would you be willing to share what's your inspiration for what you're doing, and how and why you're doing it?
Well, I think there's a lot of different like reasons. My biggest inspiration, I would think, it started because I wanted non-toxic products for me and my children. I had been reading ingredients because I had changed the way I was eating. And then it kind of just started as I was looking at the products that we were putting on our skin. And I just started thinking more along those lines. I knew people that had breast cancer from deodorant. They were saying they thought it was the deodorant wasn't helping. So I learned how to make a deodorant with a aluminum free baking soda, which is a big deal. And then I just kept on feeling inspired to like give everybody around me the most natural option to the things. And I mean, I had so many people coming and saying, can you try to make me something that would do this? Make me something that would do this. And so I learned a lot through that, right? But in general, I ended up sticking to the basic products because deodorant, lip balm, and soap to me are always essential. They're not going to go out of style. People need them and they're useful products. Whereas you're not going to have an empty bottle or a full bottle sitting on someone's shelf forever that they never used. Like it's a useful product, which makes me feel like I'm giving back to the ecosystem in a good way. And so, basically I'm inspired to keep going with that, but I also want to be able to make enough money to be able to help more people. I just always want to help people. And I'll just go ahead and put this in there. I have a book that I wrote, and that is also another avenue that I'm trying to, kind of build up so that I can continue to support humanity. I just have a lot of passion for that. And I'll tell you now, I have a Labels of Love program that I just started. And basically, it's where I'm inviting artists to submit their artwork to be chosen for each particular month, an awareness that I've chosen on it's a cause calendar that I have out on my website. And so you pick the month, you submit the artwork for that month, you get chosen, and then you get featured on my website. And I don't pay you, you don't pay me, but it's a way for people to come to the website and maybe they like your artwork and then they reach out to you because you're featured. And so it's another way to support artists and then also raise awareness around those causes. So
Outstanding. That is so awesome. You are the classic entrepreneur, and you keep finding new ways to help you impact others, and I know that's where your heart is. But also, By Cestiny, by Cestiny.com, where people can see your products, they can see this artwork that you're referring to, and really, that's a great way to kind of wrap up today. Where we started with this is wanting to help and support small business, and you are trying to do that on your website, and we are trying to do that and raise awareness about you and other business owners in Ohio and let people know about their story. There's a lot of great stories out there, and what I'd encourage everybody out there is support small business, help small business not only survive but thrive during these times. And again, Cestiny, excuse me, thank you for the opportunity for the interview. And hopefully your traffic goes up as a result of this. And best of luck and continued success to you, okay?
thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.